FTX, a crypto and stock exchange, went from $32 billion to a matter of zero within 10 days. On top of that, the founder and CEO's net worth dropped almost near to zero from $16 billion because all of his net worth was tied into this company that filed for bankruptcy after a collapse within a matter of 10 days. And I found out that FTX had some liquidity trouble where they were going through a liquidity crisis, and then they had to raise some capital with some private investors, and Binance was going to actually bail them out. But once they did their due diligence and really looked deeply into FTX, they noticed some suspicious concerns about mishandling of customers' funds. So they immediately backed out the next day because they didn't want to invest in this company. And after that, everything just went downhill and FTX had to file for bankruptcy. And they are now going through extensive research and maybe some lawsuits. And everybody's trying to figure out what is going to actually happen to FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. Because as of right now, nobody knows what's actually going on with Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. So that's a little bit of a backstory of all this mess that's come down. And if you didn't know, FTX was a big company that they put their advertisements everywhere in the past year. They sponsored their brand with YouTubers and even celebrity athletes like Steph Curry, Tom Brady, and they had a Super Bowl ad this past year. So you can tell that they were spending a ton of money on this marketing and advertisement side, and they all seemed like they were a good company, and they completely went to zero in a matter of 1 week. To make this even sound even worse is that Kevin O'Leary was even an investor into FTX, and he was a promoter of FTX. So this company looked completely legit with all these billionaires and celebrities promoting it, and everything on the back end was not looking good. And maybe Sam Bankman-Fried has committed a ton of fraud, but we'll see that in the coming months. Now, I don't have too much research on the FTX side and what's going on because we're still in the middle of it, but I really wanted to touch on, are YouTubers and these celebrities held liable for the fall of FTX? I've noticed a ton of commotion in the recent couple weeks where people are really upset at these YouTubers and celebrities for promoting FTX when they could have known that there's a lot of this fraud going on. A lot of people are blaming these influencers, thinking that they were involved in everything and they have to do something to make it right. Now, in my opinion, all these influencers don't have any blame to take because they literally were just promoting a product that they got paid for, and they did their own due diligence on their side, and everything was looking good when you have these billionaire investors promoting this and as well investing into this company. When you see everything from the outside, FTX looks like a great company. I myself, I was interested in actually putting my funds into FTX and investing there. So I didn't see anything from the outside and I didn't do too much research, but everything was looking perfectly fine for FTX. And this is why I think YouTubers and these influencers really have no blame to take. They aren't held responsible for anybody's funds that were going into FTX. And here we're going to talk about a little bit more why I think so. First off, I know many finance YouTubers that really do their due diligence before they promote a product, like a lot of other influencers and YouTubers do, at least the good ones. But when they do that, they want to make sure this is going to fit their right audience, that this company is super legit, that they would actually want their audience to invest with this company. They would want them to buy their product or service. So they already do the back end due diligence to make sure that what they're promoting is legit, isn't a scam, and is a good product to promote. The company from a big picture had no signs of fraud or suspicious activity, so any influencer looking into this company thinking if they want to be involved, and nobody really truly knows what's going on except for Sam Bankman-Fried himself. And then on the other side of that, as a viewer, as someone who actually buys these products or services that some of these influencers are promoting, I do my own due diligence when I go in and buy a product or a service. So it's up to you as well as a viewer, as someone in this digital age where you are having tons of advertisements promoted all over the world in your site, on your phone, every single day, every single minute. It's up to you to decide whether or not you want to put your money into a company like this, into any product or service. You want to do your own due diligence to make sure you're getting what you are asking for. So to me, the next time you try to yell at a YouTuber for promoting a company, especially in a time when everything looks so good, they were a $32 billion company that was backed by all these other investors, that was promoted with celebrities and all these other figures who of course were paid, but also all did their due diligence into the company. So how can you blame someone for just promoting a product or a service? And if you didn't put your money in there, then you really have no reason to complain. But even if you did put your money in there, it was up to you to do your own due diligence, to invest as much as you felt comfortable with investing within that company or brokerage. So to me, it's kind of up to you as the consumer. And I think there's going to be a lot more that's going to unravel in the future months and maybe even years within this company. So we will all see how everything goes. Hopefully you got all of your money out of FTX. And if you haven't, I hope that in the future, you might be able to get some sort of compensation for whatever has happened during this FTX collapse. And I hope everything kind of brings back together. Maybe FTX doesn't come alive and just stays, gone, but at least the consumers and other investors were able to come out of it somewhat okay, and we can move on in this world. And I don't think this just applies for the FTX itself. There's plenty of advertisements and tons of companies with products or services that every minute you are being shown. Maybe it's really time to take a look at what you actually put your money into, and are you being influenced way too much of what you're actually putting your money into, a product or a service or a brokerage like this. So it's up to you to do your own due diligence before actually putting your money up front. You have the sole responsibility of actually taking the action to put your money into these companies. And I believe there should have been actions taken if there was some type of fraud towards these celebrities and Sam Bankman-Fried, if there was anything going on there. But to everyone else who is just promoting these products or services that they have on their own creator channels, it's not their fault why FTX collapsed, and it's not their fault if you lost money. And I believe a lot of these YouTubers and influencers did their best to tell their audience, hey, get out of this company now. And I think they did their absolute most sincere apologies to everyone because they promoted this company and they thought that it was gonna be a viable company and something that they trusted as well. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I want to hear it all. So let me know down in the comments. And also make sure to subscribe down below. I'll be posting more finance and real estate content as well. And you guys can just follow along with my journey. This is a little bit of off-topic video, but it was something that came to mind when I saw that these influencers were taking a lot of flack that they probably don't deserve too much. And see you guys later.